Yo guys, it is Jead, and who remembers the great FUT Birthday depression of 2026 when the entire market crashed and the entire game basically just crashed for the FUT Birthday promo? Well, it could be happening again this Friday. These Great to the Game cards are already too cheap, so it could be mental for FC 26, and we've got the new Evo leaked for today. We've got some official SBC stats coming for the new Glory Hunters promo coming from, Friday. What a time. Let's jump into it. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Who watched the England game yesterday, and more importantly, who fell asleep to the England game yesterday? But from what you've seen so far, boys, everyone let me know down below. Who's winning the World Cup? France, Spain, Brazil, Argentina, with the Messi, Ronaldo's now back on form. Who's winning the World Cup? Is it USA? Is it England? I would still probably go France if we're being boring, but who's going to win the World Cup? Let me know. Now, we're going to jump straight into it today because loads to talk about, and honestly, I am scared for Friday because of some of the leaks we have got. It's kind of scary, and also the market, we can talk about it. Very quick update. My appeal got denied on this account, so we're currently sat on 2 million coins because I'm holding an R9 still from a video we did the other day, so we've got an R9 right at the back somewhere, so we're still on like 11 or 10 million coins when everything sells. But yeah, my appeal got denied. I'm going to reappeal it and hopefully we can get back on this account. But exciting news later for the Trade to Glory account. So we'll talk about that later. But let's jump straight into the content then, because we've missed a day or two of content. And we've missed some very good stuff and some, as always with FIFA, less good stuff. Now again, Showdown SBCs. You guys might not agree with this. I think EA deliberately picked the worst cards on the entire game to put in Showdown SBCs. What I mean by that is Oliveira and Pedro Porro, which is not two cards on anyone's radar. I get it if you're a Tottenham fan or different things like that. I always understand there is a place in the game for Showdown SBCs. But sadly with the game, the way the game plays, with lengthy and all this stuff and all the meta, these cards, both of them, not really usable even with the upgrades. I think Showdowns are just cool to have a little bit of skin in the game. I'll normally only do one if I ever do them. So I'll go and do Spain and then support Spain for the game, right? But them two came out a few days ago. They're crap. But yesterday we got Seko Fofana. Now, much more of an interesting SBC. He looks like an 88 and 89 rated squad. Might have been overpriced a few days or even a week or two ago. Fodder's on the floor. When we jump into fodder later and talk about whether we're buying it, selling it, looking at it, I don't know. We'll talk about it. But fodder's probably the lowest it's been all year, which makes sense, right? We're nearly in July. That makes sense. But it just means that this is actually not that expensive. I guess it does mean that Pedro Porro and Oliveira are fine for, just card collecting. But them two are not even going to get into a gauntlet squad, where Fofana certainly will get into a gauntlet squad. Best play styles for this man, I would personally say you have him as your holding, destroying, defensive midfielder, which means I'd go intercept 1,000%. Pinged 1,000%, and then it's between for me incisive or anticipate. But after using anticipate on Frankie de Jong's Path to Glory card, I would actually go anticipate, intercept, and ping pass. I never thought about anticipate on centre mids. It is brilliant. Frankie de Jong was tackling everyone. I couldn't believe it. And this guy not only does have, the anticipate plus if you put it on him, but 97 stand tackle with that anticipate plus, and some just crazy in-game stats in general. The strength, the physicals is great, long shots and shot power if he does get forward, but he'll be your defensive midfielder. And also not sluggish, right? 91 agility, 92 balance, despite his body type being a little bit more sluggish. And then white play styles, I am going finesse, incisive and ticky, 1,000%, jockey, 1,000%. I'm probably going quick step and bruiser, 1,000%, technical, because even though he's defensive, I'd like to be able to run with him if I need to, 1,000%. I'm probably a press proven. I love press proven on those more defensive midfielders. Using that press proven plus on Xavi's Great to the Game card is fantastic. So that's the best Fofana card I would go with there. And probably an SBC I will complete even again just for Gauntlet, to be honest. But of course, the two, I knew you guys were going to think about this, right? The two more hyped SBCs are not the player SBCs at the minute. It is the Gamble SBCs, or I guess the Upgrade SBCs. One of them is we now have a 1 of 4. So that was a 1 of 3, now a 1 of 4, 93 plus UEFA winners and TOTS player pick. So a fantastic SBC. So again, gamble on these winner cards, right? You're not going to, guarantee them. You're going to gamble on them. But I think that's a fantastic SBC. And again, with how cheap fodder is, it's just worth doing. It's coming in at 80,000 coins, but with the fodder grind, basically free, because you're not going to be able to complete too many of them anyway. It expires in 6 days. Yeah, it's not even repeatable. I thought it was repeatable once. It's not. It's not even repeatable. Expires in 6 days. You'll be able to complete it. Probably already have completed it. Who did you guys get from your pick? If you've still got them tonight, we can do them on the share play and see, because I've still got mine. We'll take a look. But you're obviously only really hunting the winners cards. And to be honest, we're getting to the point in the game now where you're only really hunting the big winners cards. And by the way, some of those winners cards are still the most meta cards in the entire game. Kika, Vicky Lopez, Dembele, Vitinha, the 4 that I think, and also Salma. Those 5 that I've just named are like top echelon of players in the entire game still to this day. So you're still hunting those cards. They would get in every single person's team. And the other SBC we got, probably the best SBC that we just needed because we needed new upgrade SBCs. I've of course already done the daily ones. So scroll right to the back and we get the 5 times 87 upgrade SBC. Yes, you can't do too many of them, of course, but it is a fantastic SBC. Do 3 of them every single time you can and, chase those great to the game cards. People are asking me now, do we save packs for Glory Hunters or open for Great to the Game? I'm now more in the camp of opening because I still want some Cruyff, Ronaldinho, Zidane, but I understand the sort of methodology of saving for Friday in the sense of these cards right now on the game are so cheap. Like Zidane's 1,000,000 coins, Cruyff's 1,000,000 coins. That if you hit one of these jackpot players, it's not even that jackpot, but I'd still really want them for the team. So I would, sway towards opening right now. But I do understand the pack save for Friday. I do understand that. But we've got to talk about Evos. We got one new Evo recently, and you might have missed it because it's not in the evolution section. It's actually in the back section, the one that takes time. I do want to say on the way past, can we get some new cosmetics? I think, by the way, I'm not sure, someone let me know, is there still licensing issues with this? But how cool would a cosmetic Evo be that makes the card a square, like the Panini stickers? I think there's still licensing issues with that, but if there was a cosmetic that made the card, a little square one, like a little sticker, honestly, I would do that and I'd pay any price for it. It would be insane. But again, EA don't like to do fun stuff. Or even just make some new cosmetics. I think if EA made one new cosmetic every single week, nothing to do with the promo, just a completely new cosmetic, price it at 100,000 coins just for the lunatics like me, and put that in the cosmetics. Now, everyone else doesn't want that, but I do. But sadly, boys, at least we have a new Evo leak today that looks great, but this one doesn't. Own the Box is Game Changer and Low Driven. So if we give it someone, Eto, who already has Quick Step, you'll see Low Driven and Game Changer. The stat boost is mainly shooting and physical. I just can't find a card I want to use this on. I thought about FIFA because I can give a Low Driven third, and then she gets a physical boost, so I can make her lengthy with longer with more Evos, but then she gets a +2 rating, and it doesn't really feel like this warrants a +2 rating. I think a +1 would have made much more sense. The shooting boost is nice, and the strength boost is nice, and I'm sure there are one or two cards it's worth using on. It's just a +2 rating that is not worth it for me, and probably this might be one of those few Evos where I don't even complete it because the +2 is just not worth it on any of the cards I've got. So yeah, maybe a swerve on that one, a little 4 out of 10. And boys, no new objectives, so make sure you've got all your SP. I'm near level 30, hopefully a lot of you guys level 30. Make sure you've got all your tokens as much as possible ready for the week, and make sure you're as close to Maradona as possible. You've got time now to go and do the Okocha. We've got all the guides on this channel. If you go through the shorts section, we've got all the guides for Okocha, Aluara, and Hugo Sanchez. They're not actually that hard to do. All three of them combined now, if you've done none of them, would take you about 5.5 hours, maybe 5 hours, which is a lot when you say it like that, but to do, objectives that when there's that many of them, I don't think it's too bad. So make sure you're close as possible to Maradona. And we've got to talk leaks. We've got to talk leaks. Market, are we going to get that FUT Birthday crash? Is the market going to be in pandemonium? And can we finally buy these great to the game cards? We spoke about it yesterday, and some of them have gone up a little bit, more the fodder ones. But some of them have just gone down. R9 is now back to 8,000,000 coins. And yeah, we've got to talk about it. So let's start with the Evo. Everyone's most hyped bit of content. And to be fair to EA, I don't think Evos have been the most hyped bit of content recently. I think the market cards have, which I think is a nice change for once. A lot of you guys would rather the Evos be fantastic. And I still want Evos to be brilliant, don't get me wrong. But I'm happy that the actual cards in packs have been a bit more focused for once. That's just the way I play the game. So that's what I wanted, but we do have a 91 rated left mid position evolution coming, which of course means the Rat Master is back. However, there's a better Mbappe Evo than this anyway, so I'm not sure anyone will be doing that. But it gives technical, finesse shot, and dead ball. As long as it gives dead ball last, that is absolutely fine, and it looks like it does. It looks like it gives technical and finesse, but I don't know which one it gives first to a 2 playstyle plus card. The big one for me is 5-star skill moves and 5-star weak foot. Apart from the 5-star Phenom Evo that's from the exhibition, you're not actually being able to do that too much on a lot of the Evos that are out right now, so that could be a fantastic one, even if it's for a chain, but I assume this won't be, more of a chain Evo. I assume this will take most cards 93 rated. But of course, as always, it depends on the stat upgrades. Don't look into any of these stats here on the screen. They probably mean nothing. But a left mid Evo is coming. It probably means Mbappe is back up in price a little bit. But as again, well, we say with most of the Evos on the game now, they're just not worth investing in. If you didn't know, Evos right now are just Discord leaker pump and dumps because there's so few people actively playing the game apart from the really core player base until probably footies now. The only people that are like buying these Evo cards, unless it's a super insane Evo, by the way. Of course, some cards do rise because they're super insane. Most of it is Discord's post Mbappe. He rises, everyone on Twitter buys him, he rises, and then the Evo comes out and he either falls or the Evo's insane and then people rises even more. It's just all pump and dump stuff, right? It's the similar stuff we've been seeing for weeks now. Rather than get involved in it, I would just say, before you do that Mbappe Evo, if it does come out today and it looks fantastic, I would still think this one's going to be better. Like, there's nothing better than this, in my opinion. You put Mbappe into 5-star Phenom, wave your flag. Of course, give him any playstyles you want. I mean, I would go with the playstyles someone's chosen here, but you guys give any playstyles you want. You do need to give finesse shot, plus from the season pass to get the 4 playstyle plus version, and I assume a lot of you guys will have already used finesse shot plus, but if not, it is there, right? You can give Mbappe finesse, rapid, quick step, and technical. The only thing I might change here, I'd probably go technical to low driven plus, and then put technical as a white playstyle if I'm going to play Mbappe striker, because he's not long. But a 5-star Mbappe with those stats, that's a footies level card nearly. Like, not quite, but you're not actually that far off because playstyles run the game. And the Mbappe that comes out in footies will just be this card plus an extra playstyle. Like, that's all it'll be. So you're not that far off, like, the stupid endgame card anyway. I think that Evo's ridiculous. Probably one that I'm going to complete, and then we can do a little mini review on him if you guys want to see that. Quite inexpensive Evo, because yes, it uses a lot of the the cheap ones that, you know, are also really expensive to, you know, go back and get back again. What I mean by that is that Finesse Shot Plus over here is really cheap in that it's free, but you only get one of them because it's from the season pass, so it's kind of really expensive, right? Depends what you value. But yeah, that Mbappe card, I think is going to be better than this one that comes out anyway. But I will not be against a 91 rated left mid Evo. Let's see what happens. This is what we're here for, the new promo. So it's called Glory Hunters, and basically it is just FUT Birthday. EA realised FUT Birthday sold packs, and guess what? They thought, ooh, we'll have a little bit more of that. So we have, of course, got Glory Hunters. If you didn't know, FUT Birthday, if you didn't play it maybe, it's just the one where all the cards in packs, the regular promo cards, not like the star performers we've had recently, the regular promo cards, you can put playstyles and playstyle pluses on every single one, and there is one burning question in everyone's mind. Will there be 3 playstyle plus? Will there be 4 playstyle plus? And the answer, as of now, seems to be 3 playstyle plus. Why is that a big deal? We'll jump into it with 1 or 2 of the cards. It will make the promo, in my opinion, not as hype as FUT Birthday, which I think is obvious, but a lot of you guys will have, I would say, 70 or 80% of your team now having 4 playstyle plus. There's still a few 3 playstyle Evos that are crazy, but if you've got a Bonu and Courtois, they're maybe one of the better ones. This Courtois card, now probably the best goalkeeper in the game, so maybe expect a mini goalkeeper crash if these are high pack weight, and we'll talk about that more when it comes to the FUT Birthday promo that we had a few months ago. It was all to do with the pack weight of the FUT Birthday cards. But if that Courtois is, you know, easily packable and quite cheap, then Khan and Casillas could go down even more, which is broken, right? Those cards are already too cheap as it is. But we've got some crazy cards with this promo. Now, Messi is coming out, and again, Messi does have ridiculous stats. 97, 96, 96, 97, even with the 81 physical, and being able to put custom playstyles on him is fantastic. The problem you've got is it not basically just this card here? Now, this card compared to the new Messi leak, if we go here, has a little bit less. He has, I think, 2 less pace, 1 less shooting, 1 less passing, and 1 less dribbling. Or it's 1 less pace and 2 less shooting, right? But you get the point, right? It's basically a +1. Similar to Dembele. Dembele already has that crazy, not the team of the season, but probably the UCL card would be his best card. It's been out for a while now. And yes, the new Dembele is a slight upgrade. Not in crazy, but definitely is a slight upgrade with the +1 shooting and stuff. But if it's only 3 playstyle plus, it just feels like the same cards are coming out. I don't know. It feels like this promo would make much more sense to be fully 4 playstyle plus. But the playstyle lab currently, as we spoke about the other day, just doesn't support that. It wouldn't make sense for it to be 4 playstyle plus. They'd have to completely change how the fundamentals of the game work with everything, you know, now FUT Birthday being 4 playstyle plus and National Pride cards being... It just wouldn't make sense. I don't think they're going to do it unless they make special exceptions. And we can pretty much guarantee that this playstyle lab is going to stay the exact same. And therefore, these cards are going to be 3 playstyle plus, which is just very interesting. I just think it means... Will these cards be as hyped as FUT Birthday? And that is the question. I don't know. It's all to do with pack weight, in my opinion. The big thing you guys missed out on, or maybe you didn't, maybe you were there for FUT Birthday, is that the FUT Birthday cards were just bonkers because of how cheap they were minute 1. If you guys remember cards, like, I think the best example for me would be Pacho. Pacho came out, and within, I would say, about 5 minutes, was 100,000 coins. Now, at the time, that was ridiculous. This was, you're talking about probably top 3 or 4 centre-backs in the game, how he played at the time this came out, with, you know, perfect play styles, 5-star, 5-star, and he was 100,000 coins, sheerly because the amount of pack weight, like, it was just brutal what was coming onto the market. But what have you guys probably thought about is the biggest change between now and these cards coming, is the removal of Evo. So back when FUT Birthday was out, people's assumption was that they flooded the market with supply because you'd have to make the cards untradeable to put them in your team. However, now that we can remove Evos, if you got this insane Rashford card, who, by the way, I think will be one of the most expensive by an absolute mile, if you got this insane Rashford card, you could then take him off the market, put him into Evos, not get on with him, take the Evos off, put him back onto the market, which it does a couple of different things, right? Makes these cards, in theory, cheaper because you can put them back onto the market and give them more supply. However, even though that's most people's assumption that the cards will be cheaper, I think it will make them more expensive. I think EA will not have to flood the supply. I think this Rashford card will be rare. I think the Dembele card will be rare. I think the Messi card will be rare. That sounds obvious, but if you guys play FUT Birthday, you'll know what I mean. These cards were not rare. They were everywhere. So maybe that saves us from another pandemonium market crash, because when we talk about the market later, it's already like on the floor. But maybe that saves us. I mean, we have that Rashford card, like I just said. He is broken. Hincapié, by the way, I don't think can be lengthy, and, you know, or lengthy's the better. But look at the stats on that card. Brilliant. These are, of course, not live cards, but they don't need to be. The stats and playstyles being customizable is just ridiculous. Like, the cards are broken already. And more just keep coming. That Valverde card is just a joke. He's 97. Even this Kieran Tierney card, like, look at the stats. And again, perfect playstyles on this Kieran Tierney card. It's making me think that, again, some greats of the game cards could already crash. The fullbacks in greats of the game were awful. I still think there's some greats of the games we can buy right now and invest in for out of packs because they're super common. So finally, out of packs, there'll be a little bit of rarity in those greats of the game cards. But these cards in packs, when it comes to this promo, the new Glory Hunters, just look brilliant. And the SBCs also look pretty brilliant. And it might be a situation similar to Path to Glory, where the SBCs are just huge dubs, right? Gakpo came out on the Friday when Path to Glory came out, and he was just a brilliant card. Then Pateas, end of an era, McAllister, Pedro Neto. It could be similar with Glory Hunters. Now, the one card I was saying everyone will be interested in is, of course, the Neymar card, because we got the official stats, and they don't look too spectacular. They probably look exactly like what we thought they would look like, where he has, nice dribbling, nice passing, good shooting, decent pace, okay physical. The problem with this Neymar card is, I would say, a non-insignificant part of the game, maybe a 20, 30, 40%, have Neymar Evos as good, if not better, and pretty much with already customized playstyles. The way Evos work right now is, these Neymar Evos that are already out, you've pretty much put perfect playstyles on already as it is. Like, look at this Neymar Evo on the top of Footbin. Far better stats than the not Path to Glory, the Glory Hunter one coming out. 5-star, 5-star, pretty much perfect playstyles. The only thing this Neymar card's going to do on the market is change it so that you'll get rid of first touch. Almost no one wants first touch as a playstyle plus, so maybe that's it. If you just really don't get on with first touch plus and you want other playstyles, but this card, I'm pretty sure, can't have finesse shot plus, right? So that isn't as a fourth playstyle. So it's going to be 3 playstyle plus anyway. I don't know. I just think it's interesting that they're bringing these cards onto the game. They're probably going to be 3 playstyle plus, and that means that they're not going to be as good as some of the Evos on the game right now. I think that sums up this year's game. EA not being able to balance market cards with Evo cards on the game. But of course, when we're talking new promos, it's SBCs and maybe objectives that we're talking about. And these cards, now that they have customizable playstyles, will be very, very sought after. Who remembers FUT Birthday Bernardo Silva, the best SBC from that promo? These ones look a little bit better. Now, we've got Romero official stats, 93, 95, 95. Honestly, not the best centre-back in the game, because he's customizable playstyles. Everyone will want to go and do this SBC and give him intercept, anticipate, bruiser, and then all the defensive playstyles, ticky and pinged, and all of a sudden, you've got a perfect centre-back from doing the SBCs. Yeah, probably not as good as one of your Evos, but that's the same with everything on this game. I think that looks like a fantastic card. We've got an official stats, Kai Havertz, who I don't like the way Kai Havertz plays in FIFA normally. I think he's a little bit too tall and not like the lengthy kind of tall. It's a bit stiff, but I know a lot of people do. Average stats for me, but like, we're getting to that point in the game when 94, 95, 93, 96 is average, which is just bonkers. I think he could be decent. I just don't like the way his body type and stuff feels in game, which whatever, right? Perfect playstyles means some people will go and do this SBC. I'm sure a lot of people will go and do this SBC. The one that I'm more hyped about in this is actually the Donyell Malen card. Excited that he's back in the game. I'm not going to go and do an Evo on Donyell Malen. So him having an SBC card with these stats, even again, like, they're not the craziest, but with the customizable playstyles, much more the type of card I get on with, a little bit more silky in game. I'm going to be completing that Donyell Malen card, putting finesse, incisive, low-driven, using him as a striker on the game, at least for a gauntlet team or two. Definitely an SBC I'm completing. But a really interesting one is Barcelona Anthony Gordon. So these cards, when they come out during the Euros and the World Cup, pretty much always come out with their transfer cards, which means we should get a Barcelona Anthony Gordon Glory Hunters card, which is just a little bit cool, isn't it? You've now got 2 English Barcelona left wingers on the game coming when this Gordon card drops. And again, I don't love using Gordon cards on this game, but the fact he's Barcelona, I'm sure so many people will go and complete this SBC. And I'm also sure he will be super, super expensive. Of course, again, with the customizable playstyles. And then finally, we've got Vizinha, the Cape Verde goalkeeper, coming, which that one is cool from EA. They've done that a lot more this year with Tim Payne, now Vizinha. They've understood the sort of community hype. They know what they're doing with that. I hope that continues into FC27, where something cool happens in the community and they just throw the card into the game. No downside to it. I'm hyped, cool about it. Probably going to be an objective. I don't know how tall he is. We probably go check that out, but yeah, Vizinha. And then coming into packs, even sooner than that, coming into packs, what should be, if it follows last week's pattern, should be tomorrow at content time, will be the star performer cards from this week. And I'm not sure about Messi. I don't think Messi will get one if it's the Team of the Week rules and he's coming in the new promo. They never do back-to-back Team of the Week cards. And yeah, he's coming in the new promo, so you can avoid that. I think Haaland, again, similar to Messi, just not coming. And same with Mbappe. All these cards, yeah, probably deserve it. One of the cards certainly will be coming, almost guaranteed. That is Cristiano Ronaldo star performer card. Probably with a low-driven plus. That's probably, not in crazy in his performance. He scored a few goals, but not in crazy. Probably with a low-driven plus. Up there now, you're going to have an Mbappe, Haaland, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo star performer card on the market. I don't know who the other ones will be. Give me your guys' thoughts down below. Maybe I missed some stuff. I can't think about who else deserves a star performers card. They'll probably do a similar number again, 4 or 5 star performer cards, no more. Cristiano Ronaldo will be the only big one coming, I think. But maybe I've missed some names. I've not watched all the World Cup games. And the star performer cards, again, will be super rare. You've seen what these star performer cards did out of packs, but once again, I'd be careful. We're pretty confident now. This Haaland card got me banned. I told you guys to invest in him at 1.3 million coins because he's super rare. I was spot on. In fact, I was so spot on. EA said, no. You're too spot on. Banned because I made 1 million coins a card, and then, you know, I'm still putting that appeal through, and we'll see what happened. EA just don't like me being good at the game. What can I say? But yeah, keep an eye on the star performer cards coming out next week as well, because of course they will do the exact same thing. They will go out of packs, buy the rare ones, including Ronaldo, and you will do absolutely amazing unless people overinvest in them. But we'll talk about that on the future videos. So here is the full team. Obviously, not all the cards have official stats leaked. Just look at the team, not the actual stats. If any cards you guys are excited to put your own playstyles on, maybe a WoW Cancelo and N'Golo Kante is pretty cool. A Rashford card coming in the actual promo with a Gordon card coming as the SBC. Does Rashford now give it a Barcelona card, or does he give it a Man United card again? I don't know how that actually works. Of course, the Neymar one is the mad hyped one, but we've seen his stats now, and maybe the Evos are better. Gravenberch, the best centre mid in the world, and of course, we've not actually had a Van Dijk official stats leaked. That'll probably be the most sought after card defensively in the entire game, probably more than the new Maldini card, because Van Dijk just seems to have ridiculous aura on this game, above Maldini. He plays insane. With perfect play styles, he should still just be ridiculous, so everyone will want that card as well. But yeah, who are we chasing here? Boys, let's talk market. Let's talk buying these great to the game cards. We think there's a market crash possibly coming on Friday as well. And of course, the Path to Glory cards. Again, so much to talk about trading on this game, which is so nice for June because they've got live cards, great to the games. It's just a fantastic time for someone like me on the game. And of course, that trade to glory news coming with the Twitch stream later. So we've got, first going to start Path to Glory because World Cup is the World Cup, right? If you're not watching the World Cup right now, what are we doing, right? It's the World Cup. Portugal get a 5-0 win. If you guys bought this Ruben Diaz card when he was 100,000 coins, GG's, you can probably sell there if you want. You can even hold as they're getting towards the knockouts. That card is still too cheap. But of course, it depends on Portugal's next few games and how they get on, and you don't want to hold the card too long, so maybe take the sell there. The 40,000 coins a card is just ridiculous. Some of the cards that didn't do too well, Jude Bellingham, of course, England didn't win, so he's down a few 100,000 coins. Same with the Naki Williams, although that was probably more expected, so he didn't get hurt too bad. But a lot of the cards we spoke about have just absolutely flown. If we were not banned, or not banned, but coin wiped on the main account, I think we'd be up to like 40 million coins. Dead serious, because Simeone has gone from 35,000 coins to now 85,000 coins. That was just too obvious. Fonzie's from 300 to 500, so GG's if you bought there still. I mean, I said sell the other day, but if you've somehow held them, he's gone even higher. Bonkers. If you bought the Pulisic card at that 230 price, he's now back up to 260. There's a few 230s there, but he's pretty much been 260 every single day since that. He's done brilliantly well. So many of the cards have flew up in price, and it made sense, right? When there's a market crash, take this going into next year as well. When there's a market crash, live cards that are still obviously active with upgrades always do best, because everything crashes and has that baseline. But the live cards can go even further. They get upgraded, right? Whereas all the other cards don't. They're just stuck there. So whenever there's a market crash on this game, look at live cards. Look at hyped live cards. They have rebounded brilliantly well. Even the Emi Martinez card, who was 100,000 coins, he's 160. And with the new Courtois coming in packs, I would probably sell that card very, very soon. Take the 60,000 coins a card there. And now we've got some updated price ranges. We didn't want to buy this guy when he was minimum price, but I'd keep a very close eye on Anthony Robinson with how well the USA are doing. I think him below 20,000 coins, if you guys still want to invest in some of these Path to Glory cards, he's pretty much just been sold off since people were holding this card at 28k. Let the sell-off happen. Try and get his low point. It'd probably be around 18, 19,000 coins. And then I think he'll slowly start to rise again as people buy this card for the USA hype and as he gets, even rarer. So I think Anthony Robertson might be one of the last few you can invest in. But there'll be a lot of cards you can invest in, but the cards now you buy in, it's all to do performance, right? All the cards that crashed have come back up. All the cards that will rise further now is based on performance. But I think Anthony Robertson looks like a really good one still. Then great to the game cards. Yes, I think we can buy soon. But yes, the whole point of the video is there could be a market crash on Friday. Just be careful. I do think, though, 4 Playstyle Plus cards that are too cheap can do well if the promo on Friday is, of course, capped at 3 Playstyle Plus, like we keep saying. One of my absolute favourites is Xavi. Xavi at 180,000 coins. He keeps hitting that price because he's so common. Out of packs, this card still is one of the best attacking centre mids in the game. He is broken. He's 4 Playstyle Plus, and it's Xavi. I think out of packs, he could do fantastically well. Normally, goalkeepers we go for, and I still think Casillas and Oliver Kahn are brilliant, by the way, because they're icon goalkeepers. But be careful with that Courtois coming in packs. And the other ones for me are the rare cards we talked about earlier on in the week. We said Zidane at 1 million coins is too cheap, and he's still 1 million coins. If he goes a little bit lower before the end of the promo, because of course today, what do we have coming out? Gamble SBC Wednesday. Wednesday's always the day where they release the SBC guaranteed great to the game pack. And because this promo is so easy to pack, they might do a guaranteed 94 plus great to the game pack. They might do a guaranteed great to the game player pick. That'll be a lot of fun, and we'd open them on the Twitch stream and we'll see. I think they'll just do a guaranteed great to the game pack. But if they do, and these cards drop any more, Zidane is too cheap. Cruyff is a little bit too cheap. He's actually rose up a little bit, so maybe Zidane's the play there. I just think Puskás is too cheap for how rare this card is. If you go and check this guy on the market, he is incredibly rare. But on a lower budget, Xavi at 4 playstyle plus is just brilliant. I even think Beckham out of packs. You guys do not understand how popular this card is. I got banned for the Haalands, we think, but we also don't know if it was for the lazy selling Beckhams. Every time I listed 30 Beckhams, I sold 25. I couldn't explain to you how easy it was to sell this card on lazies. That's because of how in demand Beckham was. Out of packs, that means if you can get this guy at 30,000 coins again, he should do brilliant. And lastly, a couple of cards we spoke about the other day for Evos, Company and Chiellini. Both of them are going to start fitting 92 Evos soon. They already fit some of the more expensive Evos, like the token Evos and stuff. Company's literally at discard. You can't go wrong. You might just take a little bit of, a little while to rise, basically. And Chiellini is still one of the better centre-backs on this entire game, and he will soon start to fit Evos, which is bananas because he's already brilliant. Them two are more safe, but then they might take a little bit longer to rise, but I think they'll do really well as well. And if somehow you guys are hopefully still balling on this game, obviously I've been killed, but hopefully you guys are still balling on this game. I think cards like R9, people just keep buying these cards out of packs. If you can get a fantastic price on R9, like 7.5 to 7.7 mil, these cards only go back up to 10 mil at some point out of packs, and you can sell him just because people, they're so rare. And when R9's gone out of packs, people put him in the team, forget about him, and he doesn't come back onto the market. Like, that's a rare card. Obviously, it's R9, kind of similar to Dino. So if you're high budget, I wouldn't mind going for them, but with them, you've got to get a very cheap price. The interesting thing on this game right now is Fodder is on the floor. We spoke about this all before with the SBCs. 88 are 1,000 coins. The easiest way to trade on this game right now will just be bid on 88 and then lazy sell them, and you could probably do that on repeat and make 300,000 coins, 400,000. Like, it's just so stupid. People will need 88 for so many SBCs, and you can probably bid on them at discard. That's crazy. I wouldn't invest in fodder. We have crazy SBCs coming, but we have crazy high-rated players on the game who are basically discard as well now. So investing in fodder is a little bit risky. I'm sure it could do well if some of the SBCs come out and are too cheap. Even the greats of the game, SBC tonight, if that was too cheap, the gamble one, I'm sure fodder would do really, really well. But you're quite literally gambling on if that's going to be the case or not. So I just instead bid on fodder, lazy sell it. If you bought 85s on the weekend, you're selling them tomorrow. No, sorry, tonight. I can't even think. Selling them tonight at 6 to 10 p.m. content. It looks like they're not going to hit much more than 1.1, 1.2 thousand coins, which is still profit. But fodder's been pummeled into the ground so much that even 85s, the GOAT of FC26 trading, have been pummeled. But boys, like I keep alluding to, the trade to glory should be happening on stream tonight. If you don't know, we're going to start a new PlayStation account. I spoke about it for ages now, and after the coin wipe, we thought, why not? It's the perfect time to do it. So tonight on the stream, we'll be doing share plays for the new packs, a couple bits of content stuff first, of course, and then straight into it. A few hours, just grinding the new account. Can we go from 0 to 100,000 coins, 500,000 coins, maybe just 50,000 coins, and we grind some packs on there as well? The plan's going to be take a brand new PlayStation account and just build the greatest team on the entire game and show not only can it be done pretty easily, but hopefully not in that long of a time span as well. I'm not looking to go and buy R9 on the account, but cards like maybe we could trade to a Zidane because he's only 1 million coins, and hopefully prove to you guys that it's still possible even this late on in the game. And the pack grind is just brilliant as well. So hopefully we can pack some nice stuff there. That'll be happening tonight. Twitch stream only. Again, I now can't handle the YouTube streams on the internet, which is quite sad. I might have to just stop them until we get better internet. So yeah, let's see what happens there. But it's going to be on the Twitch stream tonight, 6 p.m. UK. And last message to you guys is I would get liquid for Friday content if you don't want to, have what happened at the start of this week great to the game when the entire market crashed. If you just want to play it safe, as always, get liquid for Friday content. It's a few days away, I know, but I know a lot of you guys will be holding investments and different things. But yeah, boys, appreciate all the support on the videos recently. Go and watch this pack grind video I'll put on screen in a second. It was a fantastic video I made yesterday. A little bit new, not something we're used to on the channel, but really enjoyed making it. So if you want to see what the pack grind is right now in the game, go watch that one. But yeah, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in a bizzle.